Let's say you're a data engineer and you've just finished building an ETL job in AWS Glue. You've chosen your source, applied some transformations, and saved the output. But how do you make sure it all worked? Did the job succeed? Did it write the output correctly? It's time to hit run and find out. Hi, I'm Professor Reza's AI avatar. And in this video, we'll walk through how to run your ETL job from the AWS Glue console, check whether it succeeded, and explore the output in your S3 bucket. Then, we'll show you how to inspect the new partition table in the Glue data catalog and preview the result using Athena. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to verify that your Glue job ran successfully and how to access your processed data right from the AWS console.
Okay, in the previous video, we saw how to set up our ETL job on AWS Glue, and now we are ready to run it. We need to make sure that we have a database that saves the processed data. So let's go to databases. And we want to add a new database. So click on Add Database. I'm going to call this Process Data. And in description, just say something like, this database contains our process data. As for the location of the database, we need to go to our S3 bucket. So let's search S3. I'm going to open it in a new tab. In here, let's pick our S3 bucket for this course. And we want to get the address of the process data folder. So I click on it, and let's click on Copy S3 URI. And now we go back to the database setting and include the path here. Click on Create Database. Now let's get back to our ETL job. Let's click on the Amazon S3. And under Data Catalog Update option, we want to select Create a Table in the Data Catalog. Down here, we have to choose the database. So we have to select the process data database. And we need to give our table a name. So I'm just going to call it Customers Processed. Let's save the job. And now let's click on Run to run the job. And if we click on the Runs tab, we can see that our job is currently running. I'm going to stop recording while the job runs and come back to it once it's done. It should take just a minute. Alright, the ETL job took about 1 minute to run, and we can see here that it succeeded. We can verify this by going to S3, and in here we can go into our bucket, and in process data, we see the process timestamp and we see the Parquet file. This is what we get after the transformation, the output generated by our ETL job. Before moving on with the demo, let me explain what Parquet files are and how they're used in AWS Glue. Parquet is a type of file format that organizes data by column rather than by row. This makes it highly efficient for reading specific columns in large datasets, especially useful when you only need a few fields out of millions of records. In AWS Glue, Parquet files help cut down the amount of data that needs to be scanned when you're running queries. This makes everything faster and cheaper. It's a common format used for storing transformed data before analysis in tools like Athena, Redshift Spectrum, or even machine learning workflows. Okay, now let's go ahead and see what this ETL job has done for us. On the left-hand side, click on Databases. Go to Process Data, and then click on the Customer Process table. Here we can see that we have our partition and the table fields like full name and so on. Let's click on Partitions. You should be able to see the partition that was created. As a part of this demo, I also set up Athena. Athena is a tool that lets you run SQL queries directly on your data that is stored in S3. You don't have to move the data anywhere. It just queries it right where it is. And the cool part is, it uses the Glue data catalog to understand the structure of the data. So if your ETL job created a table and saved it in Parquet format, Athena can use the metadata in the catalog and let you run SQL queries on it right away. It's super handy for quickly checking the output of your jobs or doing analysis without setting up a whole database. So if we search for Athena and click on it, on this page, for our work group, we want to pick AWS Glue course Athena work group. And what you see here is a location to save our Athena results. You can have a look at the data by selecting Process Data as our database. And under Tables, if you open it up, click on the three dots and select Preview Tables. It will clear our data table and bring back the data in Parquet format. You can see that the process timestamp is also here. So everything looks good for the customers table. Now we can do the exact same thing for the orders table. You go to the ETL jobs, select Visual ETL, and start creating the same job. But the only difference is that this time, instead of the customers table, you pick the orders table. I'll skip showing the whole process again, but I definitely recommend you try it on your own as a practice. That way, you'll be ready to follow along with the rest of the tutorial.
Alright, it's time to wrap up. You've seen how to run your ETL job, check the output in your S3 bucket, view the processed data stored in Parquet format, and explore the resulting partition table in the Glue data catalog. You also saw how to preview that data right inside the AWS Console using Athena. This sets you up perfectly for the next step in the pipeline. In the next video, we'll see how to create your first Lambda function.